Hello there, welcome to Wednesday's ITV News Meridian in the Thames Valley.
The headlines where you live tonight. The moment a man fell between a train and the platform edge at Hungerford Station. He says it could have cost him his life and wants more safety measures in place.
When I was looking back and just thinking, why was nobody there? Why did nobody help me? Why was I by myself? I was in shock, absolute shock.
A Hampshire charity backs calls for better wigs for black women undergoing chemotherapy. 3/4 of breast cancer patients say there's nothing suitable.
Also on the programme, on the right lines to achieving net zero. How a world first is helping Reading tackle climate change.
And Game On, the virtual reality that combines traditional sport with video games, and the team heading to Tokyo to take on the world. Good evening. A rail passenger from Berkshire who fell between a train and the edge of a station platform is calling for urgent safety improvements.
Paul Capper from Hungerford says his accident just seconds before the train started to move could have cost him his life. Train operator Great Western Railway launched an investigation but says when the train left it was safe. Mike Pearce has the story.
This is the moment Paul fell between the train and the platform at Hungerford. This CCTV clearly shows what happened. Luckily, he managed to free himself but says the incident wasn't spotted. Seconds later, the train left the station. Paul says had he fallen onto the track, he could have been badly hurt or even lost his life.
My right foot, it just slipped. And the next thing I knew, I was kicking sort of the platform side underneath. I was in shock, absolute shock. Afterwards, a lot of pain. There was things that only I didn't start to realise how much was actually hurting until a few hours afterwards. The first time I was on my own afterwards, I just cried because I couldn't take in what had happened. And then when I was looking back and just thinking, why was nobody there? Why did nobody help me? Why was I by myself having to rescue myself?
Depending on the type of train at Hungerford, it's the train manager or the driver who makes sure it's safe to leave the station. At busy places like Newbury, Oxford, Reading and Basingstoke, staff on the platform also help give the all clear. Great Western Railway insist its procedures are safe, but there's long been concern at small stations like here at Hungerford at a lack of staff. The unions say they've been cut over the years and say safety needs to be improved. Great Western Railway say Paul slipped while the train manager was making checks on the train. By the time he looked to check on the platform, it was safe to leave.
It's either a second staff member, colleague to sort of wait on the platform while these checks are happening. Because it was explained to me that it's sort of like a 6-second gap, which was the moment that I fell and managed to get back in. Or if there's any way of putting like sensors underneath the step on the train so that if anything goes below, while the train's on a platform, then there'll be a notification to either the driver or the train manager.
Paul says when staff realised what had happened, they did look after him.
Newbury Station in particular were absolutely amazing. They gave me first aid at the scene, they got me a taxi to the hospital and everything, and then from there it was all good.
Great Western say signage at stations warns rail passengers of the risks of the railway, and they encourage all to take note of these and station announcements. But for now, Paul is urging fellow passengers to take care. Mike Pearce, ITV News, Hungerford.
There'll be a larger police presence on the streets in light of the ongoing conflict in Israel and the border with Gaza, according to Thames Valley Police. The force says it's increasing patrols to ensure people feel safe and protected, and are aware there could be protest in the Thames Valley over the coming days. It also says dedicated officers will be engaging with synagogues and mosques to make sure they can raise any issues as quickly as possible.
200 bales of hay caught fire on a farm at Upper Arncott, south of Bicester. Crews from across Oxfordshire attended and brought the fire under control. The cause hasn't yet been confirmed.
The University of Oxford says it will take appropriate steps against any students guilty of illegal action and unlawful protesting after the Radcliffe camera was targeted with orange spray paint yesterday. Two men, a 21-year-old Oxford student and an 18-year-old from Norwich, were arrested on suspicion of criminal damage during the Just Stop Oil protest at the historic library building. They've been released on bail. In a statement, the Bodleian Library said its priority is making sure all the paint is removed and the building is restored. Now, Labour members from the Thames Valley are heading home from Liverpool tonight after their party's conference.
The message from the party leadership: let's go out and win. Here's our political correspondent Phil Hornby.
We'll keep the red flag flying here.
The closing rituals of the conference. This is a party convinced it's on the verge of power.
We've had an inspiring conference and we've got a clear set of policies, a clear offer to the public, and we want to serve. And this has been a wonderful conference. Keir's delivered a great speech. The issues that he's mentioned mean a lot to people in our area. The importance of building more houses for young families to live in, the importance of tackling climate change, investing in public services, all really important issues in our area.
They're all confident they'll win, but are terrified of looking complacent. So we asked delegates from across our region, and one local, see if you can spot him, is the next election in the bag?
This election is not in the bag.
I would never say that, not at all.
Nothing is in the bag.
Nothing's in the bag, don't take anything for granted.
No way. No, I'm not complacent, and I don't think anybody is complacent.
Oh, I think so. Oh, yes.
No.
Nothing's ever in the bag.
Nothing is ever in the bag.
I'd like to say yes. I would love to say yes.
Basically, it's like we're 5-0 up with 10 minutes left to go. Do you know what I mean? So we're all but there, I think, yeah.
10 minutes, more like 12 months to go. And if they think it's all over, it isn't yet. The race for the Premiership is on. And although at the moment Labour look poised to gain seats in the Thames Valley, they know a year is a very long time in politics. Phil Hornby, ITV News, Liverpool.
Safety work started today on Oxford's Gasworks pipe bridge after being delayed for a year. The 1920s footbridge over the Thames, which links the Isis towpath with Friars Wharf and St Ebbe's in Oxford city centre, was closed more than 2 years ago when engineers found it was in danger of collapse. A scaffolding structure will be built in the water and could see some closures to the towpath. The City Council hopes the repairs will be finished next summer.
Police investigating £300 worth of goods stolen from the TK Maxx store in Aylesbury have released CCTV pictures. Officers want to trace two men after the items were stolen on the afternoon of the 28th of September.
Heathrow Airport says the number of passengers travelling through its terminals last month was above pre-pandemic levels for the first time. 7.1 million passengers took off or arrived at the airport in September. That's nearly a quarter more passengers than the same month a year ago. The biggest increase was travellers to and from the Asia and Pacific region.
And the world's first fully electric road marking machine is busy painting yellow lines on the roads of Reading.
The council says the new piece of kit will save money and help Reading reach its net zero ambitions. Mel Blore has been to see it in action.
It's the first of its kind in the world. A fully electric machine that can paint road lines to an industry standard.
We purchased it really as it's a specialist work that carries out the carriageway lining. We currently contract that out, so we've invested in it to upskill our staff, which is very good for the staff's progression within the council. Secondly, to keep the money within the council, save the residents of Reading money as well, and just make it more efficient for us.
The new electric machine replaces older diesel-powered vehicles and is able to do a full 8-hour shift on a single charge. It also uses a cold-applied paint product rather than the usual hot paint material, which means line painting will be quieter, last longer and be more environmentally friendly.
Making innovative changes like this is really worth the investment because, you know, it's not just the value in the pounds that we save every day, but it's also an extreme value in the difference we can make for the climate. It's a win-win.
Yeah, it's a good bit of equipment. Saves money for the council as well, doing it in-house now. It's good for the environment because it's fully electric. And yeah, it's good to progress our skills and it's easy to drive as well.
Reading aims to become a net zero town by 2030, and it's certainly on the right lines with this latest investment. Mel Blore, ITV News.
Is it really wrong that I'd like to have a go on that machine?
No, it looks great fun, and I'm sure the people of Reading will sort it out for you, Matt.
Superb. Look forward
Just
to it.
do some work, won't you?
Well, I will. Talking of which, still to come on tonight's programme.
Reading go goal crazy again. The Royals make it 14 goals in just 2 cup games. Great. Andrew will be here with your sport.
Plenty more, of course, from us online, itv.com/Meridian. The number on the screen as well. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Now, a survey of black women with breast cancer found that more than 3/4 of those who lost their hair weren't offered a suitable wig.
It's well known that wigs can help improve the confidence and mental health of those going through chemotherapy. And a charity in Southampton is among those calling for change. With more, Catherine Walker.
To be told that actually you haven't been thought about enough to provide the thing that's going to make you feel a bit better is really, really upsetting.
Leanne Adu was devastated when her hair fell out during chemotherapy. She hoped a wig would help rebuild her confidence. But when she turned up to her NHS appointment, she was given a straight brown bob that didn't look anything like her natural Afro hair.
It really did do the opposite of what it was meant to do. I had high value on my hair before I lost it, and the one thing that I felt would make me feel like me would be having hair that looked like my hair. And so I didn't wear the wig at all because I just knew that it would draw more attention to me than me going out without any hair.
Research shows the trauma of chemotherapy can be reduced if patients have access to natural-looking wigs. But a survey of women of colour with breast cancer found that more than 3/4 of those who lost their hair weren't offered a suitable wig.
Just weaving them in and out of the threads.
Concerned about the lack of options, wig maker Caroline worked with the Little Princess Trust to make the first Afro wig in the UK from human hair.
So it's a hair texture which isn't easy to work with, which is why factories kind of go away from that and use straighter hair textures. We worked with the charity, we developed ways in which we worked with the hair in terms of natural wefting techniques and processing the hair in a way where it didn't cause those potential issues. And then from there, it flew.
Now, this cancer charity in Southampton is one of many across the country who want to see more investment in Afro wigs.
You know, wig, other people will really want to keep their hair as close to their normal as possible, really to avoid attracting any attention. But for those around them, particularly children, our experience has been that people from ethnic minority backgrounds do have difficulty in getting hold of wigs.
The NHS told ITV News that procurement is done locally, and each trust should ensure that all patients who need one are given a wig that is right for them. But until there is a full range of real and synthetic wigs to suit everyone, Caroline and Leanne say they will keep fighting for better representation. Catherine Walker, ITV News.
Right, let's talk about the sport. Andrew joins us, and brace yourselves because he is going goal crazy.
I mean, our teams just can't stop scoring, can they? In the EFL trophy, that is. I mean, last night, both Reading and Portsmouth scored 5 times. For the Royals, that's now 14 goals in just 2 games. Reading loving this competition. The 9-0 win at Exeter followed up with this thrashing of their rivals. Swindon had drawn with the Arsenal under-21 team last time out, but the 40-mile journey home for the 1,500 Robins fans wasn't a happy one. Harvey Nibbs with a hat-trick. Paul McIro and then Harley Dean scoring in injury time. The win confirming Reading's progress into the knockout stages with a game to spare. Portsmouth also turned on the style to see off League Two side Gillingham. Pompey bringing their great league form into the cup despite making 6 changes. Tino Anjoran with a beauty of a bicycle kick before some great second half goals from Ben Stevenson, Kusini Yengi, Abu Kamara and Riley Towler. Manager John Messino calling that 45 minutes almost faultless. A frustrating night for Crawley though, who were held to a goalless draw at Sutton, then losing on penalties, but they still sit top of the table ahead of their final group match at home to Aston Villa's under-21s. 4 sailors from the south are among the first Team GB athletes to be named for next summer's Olympics in Paris. James Peters from Hayling Island and Saskia Tidy from Portland are both competing in the 49er class. Ellie Aldridge from Poole is in the women's kite, while Emma Wilson from Portland is hoping to improve on the bronze medal she won in the windsurfing in Tokyo. Time now to take a step into a virtual world that combines traditional sport with video games, and a team from Sussex chosen to represent England. Haddo has been gaining popularity across the globe over the last few years, and a team from Hove are flying out to Tokyo this month for the World Championships. Here's Andy Dickinson.
Zero Accounting Software sponsors ITV Regional Sports Report.
Paris, team captain.
My name's Seb. I play attack. K-wing. My position is sniper.
I'm Milo. My position is sniper.
Meet the team aiming to take the UK to the next level at the techno sport of Haddo, now in training to represent their country on the world stage.
I went 4 years ago, back when I just started, and it was actually amazing. There was a massive crowd, honestly, the atmosphere was amazing. I learned a lot of things as well. I am really excited to go back and show the Japanese teams what I've learned in the 4 years and show them that I can actually beat them now.
It's quite tiring, and you can move like 100 meters in just 80 seconds, so it's actually really physical and it makes you a lot fitter.
This is actually my first time playing abroad, which will be a very big thing for me because I think it will be very interesting to play teams from other countries.
This is augmented reality, so whilst the camera in front of me may not seem like that much is going on, inside these players' headsets, an epic battle is taking place. And frankly, I'm in the way.
I really have to give thanks to the creator. I don't know how he managed to turn something that he played, and I played before, Street Fighter, the Hadouken energy ball, into this game that's captivated all these kids. It's a dodgeball with energy ops, so it's quite physical and also gaming.
Super excited to be representing England, another chance again. The players have been really, practicing, they're doing a lot of work, they're eating well, sleeping well, they train great as a team, and I think we've got a great shot this time in Japan, and we're hoping to, get that title back.
Preparing to do battle, the team that came last at the Haddo World Cup 4 years ago are this time the current European champions. The games begin on Sunday week. Andy Dickinson, ITV News, Home.
Looks great, particularly when our man Andy isn't getting in the way.
He was blatantly in the way, wasn't he? Get out of the way of the telly,
Red
Andy.
card, man.
That's a different game. You should know, bicycle kick.
Sorry. Thank you. Right.
No, it's only because I said to Andy, I don't know what a bicycle kick looks like, so he just has to explain
So we demonstrated.
So we demonstrated. Now, 10 years ago, the Mary Rose Museum in Portsmouth opened its doors to the public. It's home to Henry VIII's warship, which was raised from the bed of the Solent in 1982.
Well, to mark the anniversary, those called Mary or Rose were given a special tour for free. Kerry Swain has more.
I'm joining a very special queue for the Mary Rose Museum. Hello, can you tell me your name?
Mary. I'm Beverly Mary Rose.
Mary.
Christine Mary.
Mary Christine.
Mary.
To celebrate the 41st anniversary of Henry VIII's favourite warship being raised from the seabed, watched by our future king, free admission to the Mary Rose Museum was granted to every Mary and Rose. What's your name?
Rose.
Mary.
Rose. 2.5 million people have visited the museum since it opened 10 years ago. At its heart, the ship which spent 437 years 12 metres down a mile off the Portsmouth coast.
Now, Hatch was a ratter, so they would use the dog to catch all the rats. I think the Mary Rose Museum is one of the most important museums in the country. It's like a Tudor time capsule. It's like going to Tutankhamun's tomb or Pompeii. You get to see what life was like. You get to see the biggest Tudor collection in the world.
It's my birthday. It's also the anniversary date for the ship. It's just cool to have a ship named after me.
I remember being at school and seeing it being raised and the gasp in the hall as it fell.
As you can imagine, I got quite a few quibs when I was getting married that I was going to become an old wreck and whether or not I'd be restored.
I found another very special visitor. Can you tell me what your name is?
Rose.
So, Rose, what does it feel like to have the same name as this ship?
Yeah.
Hello, what's your name?
My name's Mary.
Mary.
I'm also Mary.
Juliet, but my middle name is Mary.
Rosemary.
Mary Rose.
Parts of the Mary Rose remain on the seabed. It will cost millions to raise it, but if the money can be found, perhaps Marys and Roses will once again be invited to celebrate another chapter in this extraordinary story. Kerry Swain, ITV News.
So many memories.
We remember seeing it being raised from the Solent back in 1982 on Newsround. Well, I do anyway.
I remember that moment when the kind of structure kind of went and the gasp of kind of expectation. Yeah. I just can't believe how long ago it is, 41 years.
But then I can't remember. Well, I mean, I can remember, obviously, but it seems like yesterday because there was all this build-up to it opening and then it's been 10 years. So happy birthday to the Mary Rose Museum.
Get old. Let's get a look at the weather forecast. Here's Shireen Jordan.
Whatever the weather, it always feels like home. Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
A very good evening to you. We've held on to cloudy skies today. We've got some unsettled weather to come. Fronts moving in from the Atlantic. This area of low pressure pushing in a band of rain on Friday. That could be heavy and persistent with some strong winds too. Before this area of high pressure takes charge into the weekend, giving us something more settled but autumnal as well. Now, a yellow warning has been issued for rain for this area here from tomorrow night from 9 o'clock until midnight on Friday. We could see up to 20 millimetres of rainfall, the risk of some thunderstorms as well. Please do take care if you are heading out and about. But for tonight, that cloud will start to thicken as this front sinks south and eastwards. That's a band of heavy and persistent rain overnight. The winds fall light and then we see some mist and hill fog patches form by dawn tomorrow morning. A humid night, wide-ranging temperatures between 10 and 16 degrees Celsius. So a grey and a muggy start to Thursday morning. This hill fog is set to persist for much of the day. Cloudy skies, not much in the way of sunshine. Outbreaks of light patchy rain and drizzle. A fresher feeling day tomorrow with a maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius.
Valent Heat Pumps and Boilers sponsor ITV Meridian Weather.
In just a moment here, it's the ITV Evening News with Mary Nightingale. I'll have your late update just after 10:30 this evening.
That is it from us, though, for the time being. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you same time tomorrow. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.